Hi divas. A little bit of a different look that you see me in today. I did clean girl makeup with a full face of clean makeup for the most part. So get ready to watch how we went from this and this to this look here. All right, so we are going to be going in with all of this clean makeup, and we're going to be starting off with the Rhode Glazing Milk to get the skin prepped. This was my first time using this product, and I was a little surprised at how thick it was, but it did blend really easily into the skin. It did leave me feeling extremely hydrated, and it was a great base to start with. Up next, I'm going in with the universal shade of the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm Powder. I'm using this in the more porous areas of my face, so right around the center of my forehead and my nose to blur those pores under the makeup. While I'm letting everything settle in, I'm going to be using the Drunk Elephant Lip Mask just to rehydrate my lips. Now, this product I was really surprised about. Looking at it, it looks like a regular balm, but it's definitely a lot more jelly-like in texture than I was expecting. It's very bouncy. Now, I know you're thinking that Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter is not a clean product, and as much it is not touted to be one, it's definitely part of that clean girl makeup aesthetic. I know a lot of the clean girl divas use this as foundation, but we are going to use this as a base. After that is blended out, we're using the quintessential clean girl concealer, the Hourglass Vanish Concealer. I know this is definitely a medium to full coverage, but I know you clean girls, Slickback, Tiny Gold Hoop Angels love this concealer, so we're going to be using it to build coverage around my jaw where I tend to get 5 o'clock shadow. For foundation, we're going in with the Merit Complexion Stick. This is the shade Bone, I believe. This is slightly too yellowy for me, but it did do a great job at counteracting some of my redness, so I'm not super mad about it. I'm applying this around the skin, just drawing on some of the areas that I'm looking for that coverage, and then I blended it out, but I think I deleted the footage. So now we're going in with the Ilia Cream Bronzer on this Benefit brush and bronzing up the edges of the skin. I kept it pretty subtle with just doing some bronzing. I didn't do much contour because I genuinely forgot. I kind of went into like a weird blackout doing this makeup because it was so far out of my comfort zone that I just went in and did a ton of bronzing around the edges of the face and the forehead. So you'll see that now. Doing a fabulous job of covering up my entire face with the mirror. I love filming and content creation. All right, now we are going in with the Rhode Pocket Blush in Toasted Teddy. This is the product that kind of sparked the want to do this entire video. I swatched this in store and I really liked it, but when I swatched it, I felt like it blended away fairly easily. So you're going to see me overdose on this blush because I thought it would blend just as easy on my face that it did on my hand. Like, I genuinely thought that it was going to blend away a ton. So you can see I went back in with a second amount of it before blending it out on a Makeup by Mario F4 brush, I think. And you can see it did not blend as much as I thought it would. Going back in with that Hourglass concealer, I'm going to be brightening up the under eyes and the sides of my nose where I took that blush a little too far so I could get almost like a reverse contoury effect. Like I said, I didn't do much contour, and as someone who normally contours the hell out of my nose, this was an easier way for me to do it without having to put in a little extra work. Prepping a brand new Sephora Velour Puff. This is the one I bought from that first launch, so that's why the packaging's a little different, and I used the Makeup by Mario setting powder in Fair Pink. I was prepping those so right after I finished blending out this concealer, I could go in and really set it down so it didn't crease. The rest of my face was extremely shiny and extremely wet compared to how my makeup normally is. So I was doing my best to plan ahead for that. I blended that concealer with the Rare Beauty concealer brush. I don't remember the name of it, but it worked really well, especially through the under eye, and it worked pretty well on my nose and forehead. Now you'll see me taking that Makeup by Mario powder on the Velour Puff, setting through my under eyes. I also set a little extra in the forehead and chin with this, where I wanted a little bit more concentration in that powder, where I tend to get a little textured or shiny. I then took a little bit extra of that powder on a big It Cosmetics. They call it the bronzing brush, but it's crazy for bronzing. I use it for powder or powder foundation. So you'll see me take that in a second and then lightly tap it around the rest of the face. All right, now that we're starting to add a little bit of color back, I'm going in with the Refi Brow Tint. I think this is the shade Medium Brown. The brush on this is crazy. It looks like a medieval torture device, but I did use this just going in and brushing through the brow hairs. This gave a good amount of color. It wouldn't be anywhere close to what I normally do with my brows, but once again, we were kind of stepping out of our comfort zone here, so I'm just kind of going through and brushing through the brows, giving that little bit of hold and that little bit of color. And to fill in any of the little sparse areas and draw my fake little hairs at the front, I'm using the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in shade 4, which is a lighter brown that I typically use as well, just so we can get a little bit more of that framework done around the eye. We are going to go ahead and apply a little bit of the Peel Off Lip Stain from Sachu Beauty. This is the shade Hazel. I'm doing this before I do the eye makeup just so I can give that stain long enough to give us that good border around the lips without having to reapply and not letting it sit for like 5,000 years after the rest of my makeup is done. So I'm just going in, and you can see I'm lightly giving a little bit of lip lining, and then I'm doing a little extra over the Cupid's bow because the clean girls hate a Cupid's bow. Now we are starting the eye makeup with one of these Ilia liquid shadows. This is like a light brownie one that has like some orangey and then a little shimmer to it. I don't remember the name of this one, but if you're looking for it, go look at Sephora. I'm just kind of tapping this all over the lid, and then once I get that base color on there, I am going to be going in with one of the new Urban Decay Naked palettes. I don't remember what they're called, the Naked Shaped, Naked Sculpted, Naked something. And I'm using the warm tone one, and I'll start adding a little bit of definition around the crease with one of the light browns. Then I use a little of a lighter shimmery color in the inner corner just to kind of tie the eye look together, but it is very subtle. Now I'm going in with a little brown liner just to line the lash line. This is the Fenty Fly Liner in Big Truffle. I didn't have another brown liquid liner, and I'm not super huge on pencil on the mobile lid, so we're just going to give a slight liner. Now to give a little glow back to the skin, this is one of the Danessa Myricks. I think they're called Lowlighters. It's like a blushy highlight color that's not like super blinding. So I'm taking that on my finger and I'm going to be tapping that along the cheeks. This is a really beautiful like mauve-y color. So it's giving, once again, some color back to the skin, a little bit of glow, but it's still very subtle. Now I'm taking the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Mist. I'm going to be misting the skin just to give a little bit of hydration back, because no matter how much glowy product I'm using, a little hydration is always beautiful. Then I'm going to go in and start curling my lashes. And I'm going to be using the Milk Makeup Mascara. I really liked the old formula. This new formula is a little different for sure. The brush is really big. But I'm going in and doing a couple coats of this. You'll see me kind of wiggling at the root of my lash and then pulling through. This mascara did do a really good job at giving me some great volume and length without getting super clumpy. I'm just so used to lashes that I feel like when I don't have any on, I'm bald on my eyes as well. So you can see that my lashes are really visible, but they're still not like where I typically expect them to be. All right, we are peeling off that lip stain, and after that lip stain is peeled, you can see where it lined. I am then going in with this Refi lip pencil and giving just an extra little border. This is the shade Sepia. I'm just going in and kind of redefining the edges of that lip line, and then I'm going in with this lipstick from Hello Sunday. Hello Sunday is like a sunscreen brand. It's like a sunscreen tinted balm lipstick kind of hybrid in this like mauvey brownie color, and I'm going in and filling the lips in with that. All right, it is time to change our clothes, and this is our finished clean girl makeup. I'm going to give you a little look at the skin. You can see it's so glowy, it's so wet. It's not my fave, but here it is.